speaking of The Voice, you might have seen on the weekend that for the first time, according to polling, it has dipped into majority no-vote territory. It would seem that The Voice is on the slide now. It's the first time this has happened. 46% said yes to 43 no on June 4. Just 2 weeks later, that's changed to 43% yes, 47% no. Now, interestingly, when you look at this, and often it's been talked about the demographics will decide whether or not The Voice gets up. If you look at the demographics of 18 to 34-year-olds, you've still got 63% saying yes and only 29% saying no. It's in the 35 to 49-year-olds that things get interesting because it becomes 44% yes, 42% no, 14% undecided, which means you only need to convert a small number of those undecided people to no, and the game is essentially up. And you would have to say that most people who are currently undecided are probably undecided because they have misgivings about The Voice. Now, with all of this polling out there today, Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister, was asked, well, is this a problem? He doesn't seem to think so.
The ballet is not this Saturday. We're going to explain what it's about. We'll continue to do so.
And the other thing, of course, in a referendum is you need a double majority, which means it's not only the majority of people in the country, it's the majority of states. And according to this polling, that also wouldn't happen. The only two states that are giving majority support at the moment are Victoria and New South Wales. It would seem on the basis of this, a few months out from this potential referendum, October, November, it's dead. This thing is dead in the water. I don't know how they think they can turn around the no vote from this point, given everything we know historically about referendums, which is that they start with high support and then that dwindles as time goes on. If this is happening 4 months out from a referendum, it's done.
So can we just pull out and save the money of the $364 million that they put in the budget that we haven't already spent?
If Albanese had any brains, he would, because not only will it hurt, the cause of reconciliation, it'll hurt him. If he takes this to a referendum and it fails, he's staked his entire political career on it.
But here's the thing, he'll still stake a lot on it if, and what looks like when, it does go down. Because then it gets to be, say, the ABC's darling, which constantly tells us that we're a nation of bigots and racists, etc. and so on. This goes to prove that point. And then it will be all like grave faces. The problem's actually bigger than we thought it was, because this was just about recognition and the Australians wouldn't even do that. But what's hilarious about that pressure clip that you just showed is that he said, we'll continue to explain it. So condescending, like the only reason why people would be no votes at this point is because they don't understand. If they understood, they'd be yes votes. It's like, well, if you could start explaining that, that'd be good.
Well, any moment now he could start explaining. It's incredible that he thinks we're going to get around to that at some point. Right. Just back to what you were saying, if the no vote gets up, it'll be a real test of Anthony Albanese's character then as to what kind of leader he is and whether he's a statesman who can unite or whether he is a divider, as to how he communicates that and tries to heal a rift. Of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves because we haven't had the referendum yet, but it's going to be a big test for Anthony Albanese if he loses.